What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for PlayPicks.com and TheLines.com, joined by the man in charge, Brett Colson. Here we're going to run down the second of these Saturday games, Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots. You can see right here at this handy-dandy page we have on the lines right here, TheLines.com/odds. You can compare the odds from different sports books and from the various jurisdictions across this great country of ours where legalized sports betting. You can see right now we are looking at 6.5 at DraftKings and FanDuel. We got a 6 right now at PointsBet and a 6.5 over at Sugar House on this one, Brad. And we can take a look here at these at how these games really are going to start to break down here. But man, we talked about some of the question marks in the first game with all the injuries on the Bucs side, and now there's question marks on the Patriots side here due to the fact that Julian Edelman is apparently actually really and truly questionable. I mean, I think this is not one of those scenarios where the Patriots are just putting a questionable tag on every single player like they've done for so long, as you and I well know. I think that this is a scenario where Julian Edelman is actually truly questionable for this game.
Yeah, I'm looking here and I'm seeing limited practice. But if you saw the video of that limited practice, he did not look good. There was no mobility at all. I mean, I would honestly I wouldn't be surprised if he plays because it's Julian Edelman. The guy is a warrior, but he's not right. I mean, that's pretty apparent from what we've seen so far in his practices. So that's going to play a huge impact in this game.
You look right here, the total set at 37.5 at DraftKings, 37.5 over at FanDuel as well. First half line of 3.5 in favor of the Patriots. Brett, I mean, let's start to look here. I mean, if we're talking about on the offensive side of the ball, Buffalo actually outgaining New England so far this year. Buffalo at 5.2 yards per play, New England just at 5 yards per play. We have a New England team that, despite having, 4 running backs that they play pretty consistently on this team, they actually throw the ball 60% of the time, only running the ball, a little under 40% of the time. The Bills pretty much have that standard balance that we see in the NFL these days at about 54% pass and 46-ish percent of the run. Third down conversions, both teams not great actually as far as converting on third down. Both teams in that 37 percentile rank. You want to see closer to 40 there. But this one was the big stat that shot out at me, is just how poor that the Patriots have been in the red zone. They are scoring a red zone touchdown on only 49% of the trips to the red zone. Let's compare that to the Bills, who nobody is going to say the Bills have, an incredibly dynamic offense or anything, but they're actually scoring at 61.5% of the time when they enter the red zone. So I think maybe when you really start to dig into the numbers here, there's not as big of a gap on the offensive side of the ball for this Bills team and the Patriots team as one might expect.
Yeah, and we've learned a lot about these two teams since they last played 12 weeks ago. The most important being that New England struggles moving the football. That Week 4 game where they had a hard time against Buffalo was not a fluke. This is a bad offense. They're 26th in the league in yards per play. They somehow only managed 4.6 last week against the worst team in the league. A lot of that did come in, when the game was already over, but they showed zero consistency in being able to move the football against the Bengals. You got to wonder, with no Edelman here and Brady really he can't throw the football anymore. How are they going to move the ball without a run game, no pass game? This is a really interesting matchup and a pretty bad matchup, I think, for the Patriots.
Yeah, you look at the Bills here and the way that if you thought the way that you were going to attack this team would be on the ground, but then you look at the Patriots, who have the 23rd ranked run offense according to Pro Football Focus. So you are looking at a team that just does not run the ball very well. And again, these guys at Pro Football Focus, you and I have talked about it on other videos. They are watching every snap of every game of every single team, and they put these, grades together and have the New England Patriots way down at 23rd in the league in rush offense. So if you even wanted to go about attacking this Bills team from a Patriots perspective as to how you would want to beat them, that is actually the big weakness of this team.
It's crazy, man. I've expected opponents to attack Buffalo where they are the weakest the past several weeks, and they don't. Like last week, James Conner had 8 carries for 42 yards. What is going on? Why are the Steelers coming out flinging the rock with Duck Hodges, with no Vance McDonald, no Juju? Run the football. But they didn't. The Cowboys didn't. Obviously the Ravens did, and they got the W.
Right.
But why aren't these teams running the football against Buffalo? I don't understand what's going on here, and that's one of the reasons why I've been on the other side a lot against Buffalo this year, and they continue to cover because I don't understand how teams are game planning here.
So this is since week 6, Tom Brady averaged 5.6 yards per pass attempt. Brett, 5.6 yards per pass attempt. That would actually be 39th in the league. So that lets you know that some of these backups that have gotten in and gotten action are actually better than Tom Brady. Over that same time span, he's only completed 56% of his passes. That also way down at 39th in the league. And the Patriots have only scored a touchdown on 19% of their possessions since week 6. That is 26th in the NFL. And so, I mean, they have been getting by with this ridiculously good defense, and this ridiculously good defense is still ridiculously good. Number 1 overall DVOA, number 1 against the pass, number 7 against the run. So if you are leaning here at this Patriots at 6.5, Brett, you are basically having to, I think that the way that you're looking at this is that their defense is just going to be so superior to the Bills offense that the Patriots really won't have to do very much on offense in order to cover the 6.5.
Yeah, and I get it. This is still Josh Allen on the road against the best defensive mind in the game. Allen has been a train wreck against the Patriots. 2 games, 47% completion percentage, 5.3 yards per attempt. That's worse than Brady. 1 touchdown, 5 picks. If he can avoid the back-breaking turnovers like he has the second half of this season, I think the Bills are good enough to keep this close and maybe even win outright. But that is a huge if for Allen on the road against this defense.
Yeah, and it's, this, you'd think Bill Belichick is probably going to try to do what he can to exploit. I mean, Bills, according to Pro Football Focus, are 23rd in run defense, but way up at 3rd in coverage grade. And, of course, a lot of that around Trey White, and has been just absolutely fantastic for this team so far this year. Buffalo defense only giving up 4.8 yards per play, but this New England defense has only given up 4.5 yards per play. And I think this is one, and listen, soft schedule for the Patriots and all, and I understand that, but Brett, they are only giving up 23.2% to opponents on third down. The opponent's third down percentage is 23.2%. They are not even converting 1 out of every 4 third downs against this Patriots defense. I mean, I think it's, there was a couple of games where they got exploited, and I think maybe we've kind of overreacted. But when you really dig in and you really look here, this Patriots defense is still incredibly elite.
Yeah, they're awesome. They've been carrying this team all season long, and I think that's a credit to Bill Belichick, who really, if you look at this team, this is like a bottom 10 roster in the NFL. It's amazing what he's done with this defense this year. Right. It's amazing they've won as many games as they have. So, yeah, I mean, what else? What else can you say? This defense is phenomenal. Let's
go here at really low total. So let's make a case for the over. It's sitting at 37.5 right now. A case for the over. I'll add a couple points. You can add a couple of points as well here if you're leaning towards betting the over in this one. And I think, first and foremost is, look, we're talking about 2 good defenses. Defensive scores, I think, are a very real possibility in this game. I think that short fields and turnovers and defensive scores, which we know are an under nightmare and an over blessing. And I certainly think that is a very real, we can't predict defensive scoring, but we can certainly put ourselves in a defensive scoring environment. And Josh Allen plus the Patriots defense, and hell, even Tom Brady and his kind of noodle arm that he's got going on, plus this Bills defense, I think is a very, very compelling environment for there to be some defensive fireworks here.
Absolutely. This opened at 38, which is right around where I thought it would be. Dipped to 36.5, and now it's climbing back up a little bit. Like you said, great defenses create scoring opportunities, and the Patriots especially apply to that. Now they're facing a turnover-prone quarterback at home. So, I mean, it looks a little low to me, and I think you also have to play off what the trends are telling us here. These are two under teams. Mm-hmm. Unders have been cashing for both these teams all season. Bettors know this, and they've been pounding the under here. So, I mean, maybe that's an opportunity for us to buy at a low number if this does fall back down to 36.5. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. I actually do like the over quite a bit here.
37 being kind of that first key number when it comes to totals. Yeah. So like you said, definitely if this thing gets under 37 could be a buying point. Let's take a look at let's make a case for the under here. If you want to if you're looking to bet the under here, maybe some of the points we bring up would be something. I think let's talk about the obvious. Two stellar defenses, right? And I mean, maybe if they're not creating turnovers and short fields, they're just stifling the other offenses here. And so certainly two good defenses could do that and keep this game under. I think a second point could be if Julian Edelman does not go in this game, Brett, or if he does go and he's just really super limited, I think we've seen how bad this Patriots offense can struggle even when he's in the lineup because they lack a real true go-to second option. But if Julian Edelman is not going to be able to play at 60% or something like that, I think it's a very real possibility that the Patriots might only find the end zone in this game one time.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that might actually be enough to get the outright win. I mean, look, we already made the points for the under here. I mean, both these defenses are tremendous, and both these offenses are not good. I mean, especially the Patriots. This is you could argue it's a bottom 5 offense right now. So there's a lot to see here with the under, and I think that's why it's getting so much action early. But I like we said, I think there's enough to where these defenses can create turnovers or at least create some good field position for the offense to do enough to get over 30, whatever number you can get, 37 hopefully.
The player props, just the only ones listed right now are touchdown scorer. So something that I don't really bet these touchdown scorer kind of props very often, so nothing there. But when they do open up, Brett, I think one of the things that I would be looking for, and I think you would probably agree with me here, would be if Julian Edelman is going to give, the quote unquote, give it a go, the old college try out there. If the number of yards for him or receptions seems to be inflated, if they're putting it at what we would normally consider to set a line at for a healthy Julian Edelman, if they come in with a healthy Julian Edelman line, I'm probably going to hammer the unders on those because, I mean, we've seen with these wide receivers, it's such a fragile position. The way that you have to go about playing the position, relying on cuts and bursts and things, that re-injury is you get cracked a lot as well, when playing the position. So the risk for re-injury is so incredibly high. If anything seems fishy about the receptions or the yardage for Edelman, you're probably going to catch me on the unders on those.
Well, if you like the under there, is there any overs on that Patriots passing game that you would like? If the ball's not going to Edelman, or if he gets hurt, which, like you said, is a high possibility, is that would you kind of balance out?
Right. Yeah. Props? Like some kind of correlated play here. I mean, maybe like a James White type thing, like receptions and yardage, right? Because he really, at that point, if you're talking about the guy that I think Brady trusts the most outside of Edelman, it's probably him, wouldn't you say?
Has to be. Yeah, absolutely. Especially in a game like this that they need against a really good defense. I think we're going to see a lot of James White in this game.
So if you want to bet, if you guys want to go this, I mean, full disclosure here, I think I'm probably going to get on the Bills. I just don't think there's enough here for me to back the Patriots in this one. Not a super strong conviction on this, but definitely one that I'll have a little bit of action on with the Bills at 6.5. Brett, I think if you're gonna bet the Bills, I think the correlation though would probably be Bills and under, because of the way you certainly wouldn't want this to be a high scoring environment and bet the Bills, because if the Patriots are actually scoring a lot, that would probably lend more towards the over. So I think if you're betting this, I think the correlated plays would be Bills and under and Pats and over.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a 6.5 point spread for a really low total. So I think you're right on there. And the way I look at this is, if you believe that Josh Allen has turned the corner, if you think he's improved that much since week 4 when these two teams last met, then I think you have to take the Bills here and trust that Brian Daboll will scheme yardage. I think they should take advantage of the fact that Jonathan Jones is out for the Patriots, get Cole Beasley involved early, and you can run on the Patriots too. I think Devin Singletary could have a nice game here too. So if I had a lean on the spread, I would certainly take the Bills here. But I kind of like the over. I think there might be some defensive, if not a defensive touchdown, certainly some defensive opportunities to score for both these teams.
Guys, as always, just head over to lines.com/odds and you can see this great breakdown here. Of course, Jersey, Pennsylvania, Indiana, West Virginia. You can toggle between the various states, spread, money line totals, and the various books. So you can take a look at one shot how things are breaking down over there in any of these states that have legalized sports betting right now. And of course, if you're going to play at any of these sites, just click these banners here at the top and definitely take advantage of these sign-up offers, because it's the one time that you can really stick it to the sports books here. They're giving you, free money, risk-free bets, match bets, and all kinds of things like that. So be sure and take advantage of those. While you're here, please subscribe to the channel. Everything we do is free. Everything at the lines is free. Everything at PlayPicks is free. And of course, obviously everything here on the YouTube channel is free as well. So please hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up on this video, and let us know in the comments how you are going to play this game. Give us the exact score that you feel this game is going to be. Put the team and then the score. So Patriots 59, Bills 51. If you happen to get it exactly right, we'll ship you an Amazon gift card for being a subscriber to this channel and paying attention to the content that we are creating. So really do appreciate that, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll be back with the last Saturday night game.